Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Thursday, the 27th of November. Starting off with the S&P, which is trying to break that line of resistance there from the beginning of the month, or the end of last month, more accurately, around the 68.20 level. The high yesterday, 68.30, but say 68.20 is the nominal level of that line. End of day close above that. We're looking for 7,000 hopefully as soon as the end of next month, while we're above the 50-day moving average, 67.20. Not expecting any sustained price action below that. Obviously, the worst case at the moment would be that we have to test the floor of the channel there of 65.60 from back in April. But at the moment, with the RSI through in the mid 50s, it looks as though we are hopefully on our way. The Nasdaq is next, and here also, recovery in the air. RSI not quite as high, so it's at 53, but we're above a rising 50-day moving average, but obviously rising 50 and 200-day lines at just under 25,000. The longer we stay above 25,000, the greater our hopes are that we'll get to 27,000 by the end of next month. I mean, adding in the same kind of resistance line to the Nasdaq, you could argue we've already broken the turn of the month downtrend for this market. Worst case is that another test of 24,000 is required before we head higher. On to the stocks, and starting off, well, there's quite a few today that we haven't looked at before, but the first one is GlucoTrack, and here we've got a rising trend channel base, looking with the shares to get up to the 200-day line there at $9.45. If they can, if we can get a decent, get another end of day close above the 50-day moving average around the current levels. I think the actual the market closed almost exactly at the 50-day line, and looking for the top of the range and the 200-day line hopefully by the end of next month. Ideally, we stay above the top of the gap down that we had earlier this month around $5.70 ahead of the move to the upside. Next is Pasithea, and here we've got a broadening triangle base. At the moment we're looking for this market to break the top of yesterday's high, which was $1.34, and looking for that to be broken, hopefully by the end of this week. So Thanksgiving by the end of next week, I suppose, and looking for the $1.40 area while we're above the 200-day moving average at 92 cents. Next up is a stock which hopefully will have a bit of momentum. I think I've looked at it quite recently, which is Mobile Health Network Solutions. Here we had a broadening triangle. We hit the top of the triangle and came all the way back, but partial gap fill, which is interesting. Ideally, now we stay above resistance on the way down around the $2.10 level. Above that, looking for at least a partial retest of the best levels through $5 over the course of the next month or so. If you're cautious, you wait for an end of day close back above the 50-day moving average at $3.04. On to the interestingly named One Stop Systems, and here we've got a rising trend channel. We bounced off the 200-day moving average at $4.20 above the 50-day line, 543, looking for up to $8 by the end of next month, which is the top of that rising trend channel from back in May. A stock which maybe one to follow is Quantum BioPharma, and here it's we're gapping higher. A bear trap rebound for a bear trap gap reversal from the initial November support area, $7.80. Above that, looking for a minimum at the 200-day moving average, $13.51. Hoping for that over the next week or two. The other point to note, I suppose, is the way that we have a line of resistance that was getting and the shares gap through that around the $8.20 level. So they obviously have something in mind in terms of pushing to the upside. Quinn Therapeutics is next, and a wide sweep within a rising trend channel. You can actually argue the trend channel is a bit wider than that, so even up towards the $4.50 zone. If I can adjust the line a bit better. So $4.50 by the end of next month, while we're above recent broken resistance, i.e. The previous session's high, around the $2.80 mark. That should be suffice as a money management point. We've looked at Splash beverage before, and here we had a full storm rally, which was basically during October. We're trying again now, and at the top of the triangle there from August, heading for $2, and we're looking for that by the end of next month, while we're above recent broken resistance around the $1.20 level. So hopefully Splash can make a move. A interesting scenario coming up in terms of the situation at the following stock, which I'll try and dig out. And here you can see that we've got a decent setup in the sense that we've looks like we've got bullish divergence. We've broken recent resistance around the $6, well, around the $5.70 area, and above that, looking for the top of the triangle there, as high as $26. Maybe that's a target for the end of January, but at the moment, at least, it looks like an interesting turnaround situation with that RSI, bullish RSI divergence on the daily chart. On to the last two, and the first one is Verrica, and here another triangle situation. We push through, gap through the 200-day moving average at $5.45 and looking for up to $8.30 at the top of that broadening triangle from back in July. Finishing off quite appropriately with the stock beginning with Zynex, and here another triangle, and what situation where we're looking for the shares to hit the top of the broadening triangle there from August as high as $2.60, and we're looking for that while the shares are above the recent broken resistance through the $1.40 area. That should hopefully cover it on an end of day close basis. There's a wider stop, and a more maybe a more logical one would be an end of day close back below the 50-day moving average, but maybe that's too much of a risk for some. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.